Why are people leaving Canada? Canada is known for its high quality of life, natural beauty, and welcoming culture. But did you know that some people are actually leaving Canada? In this video, I'll explore the reasons why people are leaving. Hi, my name is Rashid. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant from Ontario, Canada. If you're watching my video for the first time, I share videos on Canadian immigration, different Canadian visas, as well as the Canadian entrepreneur interviews. Stay with me till the end of the video to find out which countries are Canadians actually moving to, the destination countries. Now, before sharing the reasons why some people leave Canada, I must say that I feel very blessed to live in Canada. It's home and I love Canada. But around 200 to 300,000 people do leave Canada every year for various reasons that I will share below. Reason 1. One of the main reasons people are leaving Canada is actually the high cost of living. Have you heard of Numbeo? It's a database that compares the cost of living in cities around the world. So you can choose different cities and you can actually compare the cost of living. I'll link it in the description of the video. So according to Numbeo, several Canadian cities rank among the most expensive in the world. For example, in 2021, Vancouver was ranked as the third most expensive city in the world, while Toronto was ranked as the 16th most expensive. So this high cost of living is driven by a number of factors, including high housing prices and taxes. The average price of a detached home in Vancouver is over $1.5 million. It's also similar in the Greater Toronto area. These high prices make it difficult for Canadians to afford a home, especially for those who are just starting out or have a lower income. Whereas in our neighboring country, the US, and many of the big cities like Chicago, the houses are much cheaper. I have friends in Chicago who have bigger houses than mine even though they paid less for the house. The second reason is lack of affordable childcare. Many Canadian families struggle to find affordable childcare options, especially in cities with high cost of living. So when both parents are working, and both parents often have to work because it's an expensive country, so you need childcare. A report by the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives found that the cost of childcare in Canada is among the highest in the world. Parents in some cities are paying over $1,000 per month for infant care. It's even $1,500 in some cities. But this high cost of childcare is a major factor why some families choose to leave Canada. The third reason is high taxes. So Canada has relatively high taxes compared to some of the other countries. For example, the top marginal tax rate in Canada is 53.5%, while in the US it is 37%. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that in the UAE there is zero income tax still. So Canadian taxes can be a bit of a shock for some people. Let's take the example of a software engineer. A software engineer earning $150,000 in Texas will take home $112,000 after taxes. So his net salary after taxes will be $112,000 because the state of Texas in USA doesn't have any income tax. But in New York, he will have $98,000 as the take-home salary. But a person earning $150,000 in Canada will take home $105,000. So it is higher than New York, but lower than Texas. Now I must say that we do get a lot of facilities by paying these taxes, including free healthcare, that includes doctor's visits, medical treatment, beautiful parks, quality schools for the kids that are free, amazing libraries and community centers, good roads, constant supply of electricity and water, good police, fire and ambulance coverage. Yet these taxes are just too much for some people. The fourth reason is lack of job opportunities. Canada has the 9th largest GDP in the world at almost $2 trillion. GDP per capita is $52,000. But while Canada has a strong and diverse economy, certain regions and industries have struggled in the recent years. For example, the oil and gas industry in Alberta has been hit hard by the declining global demand and transition to clean energy sources. This of course has led to job losses and economic downturn in the region. Additionally, some Canadians feel that there are not enough good paying jobs available in their field or in their region, and this can lead them to look for opportunities abroad. For example, a survey by the Conference Board of Canada found that only 55% of the Canadian employees feel that they have the opportunities for advancement in their current job. Here's another example. According to the popular salary comparison website, Glassdoor, by the way, you should use Glassdoor to search for jobs, to do salary comparisons. It's an amazing website. According to Glassdoor, the average base salary for a software engineer in Canada is $90,000. 90,000 Canadian dollars. Whereas in US, it is $113,000 US dollars. A difference of $23,000 per year for software engineer. And on top of this, $1 equals 1.35 Canadian dollars nowadays. So if someone is earning 113,000 US dollars, that's actually equal to 152,000 Canadian dollars. So average salary for a software engineer on one side is 90,000 Canadian dollars in Canada, and the equivalent in US is 152,000 Canadian dollars. So there is a big difference. That's why a lot of professionals choose to move to the US. The fifth reason is political and social unrest. While Canada is generally a peaceful and progressive country, there have been instances of political and social tensions in the recent years. For example, there have been protests over issues such as indigenous rights, COVID vaccination, and the environment. And that's why some people love Justin Trudeau, whereas others not so much. And for some people, these tensions and the resulting social and political climate can be a turn-off, and they lead them to look for more stable and harmonious environments elsewhere. Reason number 6, another reason is the cold climate. Now, Canada is known for its cold winters. That's no surprise. Average temperatures can be -10 to -20 degrees Celsius in many parts of the country in the winters. So some people may find the climate too harsh and decide to move to a warmer location. Mind you, almost all of the buildings, including houses, shopping centers, schools, and even most manufacturing facilities, are centrally heated, and you don't feel this cold. The cars are heated, often have remote starters where you can just start the car a couple of minutes before you actually drive. There are cars with heated steering wheels and seats. Still, when you do get exposed to those cold temperatures below -20, it's not the most pleasant feeling. Reason number 6, healthcare. While Canada has a universal healthcare system, there can be long wait times for certain medical procedures and limited access to certain specialists. For example, a 2022 report by the Fraser Institute found that the median wait time between a referral from a general practitioner and receipt of medical treatment in Canada was 27.4 weeks. That's almost 7 months. So this wait time from 2022 is the longest wait time recorded in this survey's history. And this wait time in 2018 was actually 20.9 weeks. So it's going up every year. So while the medical treatment, even for expensive procedures, is free and is of high quality, the wait times can be a frustrating factor. Reason number 7 is personal or family reasons. Some people may leave Canada for personal or family reasons, such as to be close to relatives, to follow a spouse or partner, or for other personal reasons. I've seen people who make a good living in Canada, but they choose to move outside of Canada, especially these days where you can work remotely or do your business remotely. They live in other parts of the world because the cost of living is cheap. They can stay close to their families. They still earn money in Canada. They pay their taxes in Canada, but they can also enjoy lower cost of living with their families abroad. So that's also a reason. Some Canadians also leave to seek out different experiences by living in other countries. Some move out to retire in warmer climates or to live in more affordable regions. If you have a Canadian passport, you can actually go get a work permit in a bunch of different countries, from England and France to Australia and New Zealand. You can actually work there for a couple of years. This is especially a program for the youth, and that motivates a lot of people to go out and get those experiences. So these are some of the reasons that I could come up with. If you're living in Canada, what other reason would you add to this list? Please feel free to share with our friends in the comments. So now that we know the reasons why Canadians are moving out, what are the top 5 destinations which Canadians move to, either temporarily or permanently? I think you can guess this one. The top destination is the US. According to Statistics Canada, in 2018, and 2018 is the latest data from an official source that I could find, in 2018 about 250,000 Canadians immigrated to the US. The next 4 countries are UK, Australia, France, and Germany, where a total of about 50,000 Canadians moved to. US doesn't have a skilled immigration system like express entry, which is relatively easy and straightforward, but once people get a Canadian passport, it becomes much easier for them to move to the US due to the US, Mexico, and Canada agreement, formerly known as NAFTA. So they can move to the US at least temporarily to work. And once people are in the US, they eventually figure out ways to stay there permanently. And it is also very interesting that in 2018, about 90,000 Americans also moved to Canada. So while 250,000 Canadians moved to the US, 90,000 Americans also moved to Canada. US is actually one of the top 5 source countries for immigrants to Canada. Thank you very much for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos. Say hi in the comment section. If you need any help with your Canadian immigration or visas or citizenship application, feel free to get in touch. I'll leave a link in the description.